This is People of the State of Michigan versus Joseph Lerma, docket number 21-266FH. This is the time set for hearing on the defendant's motion to modify bond. Mr. Sartz is here for Mr. Lerma, who's also present. Ms. Allen for the people. Go ahead, Mr. Sartz.
Mr. Lerma was in jail yesterday. Is Mr. Lerma out now?
Yeah.
Well, then I don't see really much of a point in proceeding with the motion other than to just request permission.
Oh, is he out now? No, he's at the jail.
Oh, okay, he's not showing up on my screen.
They're using a different room and it looks different now.
Ah, okay, very good. My apologies.
That's okay.
It's not popping up on my screen for some reason. But in any event, yeah, the court has received an updated copy of the bond report, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, this was the defense's motion. I'm requesting permission, Mr. Lerma be allowed to change his address of release if he's able to work out the issues with this tether. He previously was granted a PR bond as long as he was able to obtain a tether and stay with his father. Unfortunately, things are not going to work out with his father. Mr. Lerma has made several efforts over the last series of months here, and since he had the updated bond report interview, he has been able to reach out to his aunt. His aunt can provide him with housing. So we'd still have to work out the issues with the money for the tether, Your Honor. He's indigent right now. He just does not have the financial means to come up with the cost for the tether, which often requires an initial deposit of some type. I understand the bond report is kind of pretty clear on the position of things, but in all honesty, Mr. Lerma, has had his struggles, but he's learned from it. And in the future, I think he'll be fine in terms of proceeding. More importantly, his aunt would give him a very stable place to stay, at least for now. And he does have some potential opportunities that he would like to pursue while this case proceeds. We're still waiting for the results back from his referral down to CFP, but that now that interview can be done by Zoom, by Polycom. So there are other options there besides transportation. So under the circumstances, I would just request permission for Mr. Lerma to change his address upon release to his aunt's address. Mr. Lerma can provide that information. Thank you.
Well, don't give a specific address because I'm live streaming, but whereabout does his aunt live?
Is Mr. Lerma here? Can you hear it?
Yeah, she lives on the west side of town.
In Lansing.
And, of Lansing, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Ms. Allen?
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge Simmons had already granted, this bond with the stipulation that he is going to be with his father and the GPS tether. So to that end, if he has an address that he can go to, then obviously I think we can adjust what Judge Simmons had ordered. But my concern is that I don't see a verification that the aunt has said that he can live there. I'm fine with this happening because it's already been ordered if he has a stable address, but I don't think the shelter is a stable address. My information is at the time he had been living with the victim, so I'm concerned about homelessness and how we're going to do a GPS tether, even charging it, paying for it. If we can have a stable address, if his aunt is willing to say, yes, he's staying here, that's his address, because it's already been granted by Judge Simmons, I'm not going to object to that, but I do have an objection if we don't for sure have that stable address, only based on the bond report that we just got a couple days ago. That's my concern.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought as well. A shelter just won't work. I'm sorry, but and I'm willing to substitute the aunt for the father in what was previously ordered, but we have to have a verified address and an indication from the aunt that it's okay. So what I would like to do, Mr. Sartz, is refer this back to pretrial services just to have them contact the aunt and verify that he can live there and what the address is and everything. Could you pass the contact information for Mr. Lerma's aunt onto pretrial services so they could do that?
Absolutely. Could I just have a brief breakout room with Mr. Lerma? I'll get the updated information and I'm happy to send that on to the pretrial services.
Okay, very good. Then I'll put you both in a breakout room and you two can talk. Do you have to come back to my hearing room or?
that's all you need. Well, should we adjourn then the hearing for today, or if he's able